Hello and welcome to the second GC9X console blast. I'm Bobinator, and with us we've got...
I'm Carl.
And I'm Guru Larry. Hello.
Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No
this
problem.
time around, since last time we looked at the Amstrad CPC home computer, we've got the ZX Spectrum. Larry, what the crap is this thing?
It is possibly, I think it's the UK's biggest selling home computer, or at least the most stuck in most people's attics over the systems. It is actually the follow-up to the Sinclair ZX81, which the original prototype name was the ZX82, and it's called a Spectrum because it sports a whopping 9 colours. Well, unless you count white and black as colours, because they're technically shades. But yes, so it's all the colours of the rainbow, plus black and white, and everybody loved it. It's got this weird nostalgic feeling that everybody goes mad over if you're from the UK. Sort of like the American equivalent of the NES, really, that everybody goes, oh, yeah, I remember playing Mario when I was a kid. I got it for my birthday or Christmas and that, and it's the same thing with the Spectrum.
I'd say probably the...
Except they had to play Dizzy.
Yes, they've had to play Dizzy.
I'd say
But
probably
it did that.
Go ahead.
I said it did develop a lot of famous British coders as well, like Peter Molyneux and David Perry as well. They started out on the Spectrum. So they did bring a lot into the gaming world, this humble little thing. And also it's because it was incredibly cheap as well. I mean, it didn't even come with a tape deck. You had to hook it up your own one as well. So it was a nice little machine. Like I said, it was popular because it was cheap. I mean, its biggest rival was a BBC Micro, and that was like a school computer that cost like £500 to £1,000, and that was way out the reach of most people's money. So its Spectrum became.
You were able to code your own games if you were insane, right? Like you could type it in.
You were, yes. It used BASIC, so like 10 print hello, 20 go to 10, stuff like that. So yeah, it could do basic code, or if you had some sort of little more knowledge, you could do machine code as well, and it was quite adept at doing it. I think the only... Oh, sorry. I said the only downside to the system, it had sort of an overlaying thing on the graphics. I've forgotten the name of it, but you could not have this. Yes, that's it. Yes. You could only have the same one colour on screen at the same time. I mean, they sort of worked around it later on, but you had a lot of sort of ghosting with the clashing.
Well, it was more than one colour on screen. It was one colour per screen block.
I believe so. You couldn't have one over the other. Yes.
Yes, that's yeah. You could have. I think it was 2 colours per block, basically.
That was a Henry Ford mantra of colours, is it? You could have any colour as long as one was black.
Well, I mean, because you could do like horrible things like blue and yellow and stuff if you really wanted to, but it was uncommon to combine colors that you couldn't see between the two.
Exactly, yes.
To be honest...
So they were like almost all black, as far as I know. Black and some other color.
To be honest,
normally...
I think it... I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, normally yellow because it's the easiest to see on black, and because white was a little bit garish and it come across as slightly grey than white. Anyhow, Bob, you were saying, sir. Sorry for cutting you off.
I think it would have generally looked better if they just stuck with black and white, but that's just my opinion.
Well, you've got to remember that also the screen was not high quality.
No, it was very low resolution, but the ZX81 was just black and white as well, and I think they wanted to move away from it. That's why that was a big leap from the 81 to the 82, was the fact it had extra colours.
Yes, you could have an entire 8 colors in total. No, I think it was 16. But it was 16. I'm pretty sure it was 16 in terms of one set of colors and then one set of darker shade variants that were less commonly used, I think it was. Kind of like EGA, I think. Can't quite remember. Or that EGA 16 or whatever. Yes. Oh, well, let's get something happening on the screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Good idea.
Oh, I thought everybody's having so much fun looking at that picture.
Well, now that they've memorized the keyboard, and I hope you have, because it's a different keyboard to the QWERTY keyboard that anyone is used to at this point in time.
Well, it's a bit in a weird place. They put the space bar as well, which is in the bottom left corner, which felt a bit weird. But also the keys were made out of rubber with the original release, again to save money. It was like a thin membrane. And it was nice and comfortable, but you know, God forbid you ever try to use it to actually type anything on it. Because...
One moment.
Oh.
Hey, this game lets you use the keyboard. Don't do that, kids.
Don't.
It's a nightmare using the keyboard to play games, right?
Normally the buttons were QAOP and space to jump, so it wasn't too bad. I mean, you have to use both hands for left and right and up and down and stuff, so you got used to it after a while.
So, this is GHQ, Spectrum version. I kind of picked this to show off as a counterpart to how it looked from the Amstrad CPC. It's a good port, too. Probably...
Oh, it's amazing. It's an amazing port. It's actually been voted by a lot of Spectrum magazines as a #1 Spectrum game ever made.
So, here's something annoying about a lot of Spectrum games. They all accept different kind of joysticks, but some games only accept some types of joysticks, so you have to kind of guess. Usually, in my experience, Kempston's usually the best option.
Kempston's was the popular one. It's because the original's Rubber Key Spectrum doesn't have a joypad controller port on it, and Sinclair was so late at getting the thing out of the gate with any sort of joypad. Joystick controller port that this company called Kempston jumped in there and released theirs first, so everybody jumped onto theirs as well. I mean, Sinclair's very first one was actually using the cursor keys, the up, down, left, right, emulating the keys of up, down, left, right for a joystick until they released their own one.
Huh.
So, from what we can see of this port, there's a lot less colors, obviously, but I think it runs a little faster than the Amstrad version.
It would run even faster if you put it into high gear.
Oh, right.
To be fair, this one doesn't have the music or sound, really, other than the...
It does have some
Right.
decent digitized speech, though. It actually doesn't sound that bad.
It does, yes, and I think there's a turbo button somewhere as well.
Might as well use that. Spacebar, right.
Either that or it means you can't wash the car at under 40-degree temperatures.
So if you were using the joystick, that usually only had one button, did you just have to hit the space bar?
Yes. Yeah, you often had to press the space bar in most games. Unless it was a platform game, then you just push up to jump. And the fire button was used to fire, obviously. But it is a bit weird that nobody ever... I think it's because everybody was so fixated on the popularity of the Atari 2600. They only thought a joystick only needs one button, really, for years. And that was probably not until the NES came along that they realised that you could have more than one button on a controller.
That is such a strange, mentality.
It is. It went off... It's pretty much the entire generation of home computers as well. I mean, even up to the sort of Amiga. I mean, it wasn't until the Amiga CD32 that actually, well, technically the CD-TV, but could have more than one button.
I'd say the one button thing wasn't really an issue until the Amiga, because the games got more complicated and you had more ports of games that had more buttons.
Well, I think they released a 6-button controller when Street Fighter 2 came out for it. And that's when they first realised, brought out a proper multi-thing. But by then, everybody had moved on to consoles as well, so it was a bit of a...
by the time of Street Fighter 2, god damn.
So it's a case of, closing the gates after the horses are bolted, really.
But it even took systems like the Amiga a long time to bother releasing multi-button joysticks.
Yes, that's what I said. It was the Amiga that had the multi-button joystick on it.
Yes.
Can you use a Mega Drive pad if you wanted to?
You can. I used to use that all the time, actually, in the end.
Didn't it just bind it to one button, unless it was
It did,
set
the B
up for
button.
it?
The B button, but I have been told recently that it was actually quite dangerous to use a Mega Drive joypad on it because it could short the port. And like I said, I use it pretty much non-stop my entire time. That and the Master System controller. and I never had any problems. But yeah, I've been told that it can short the system
Really?
out. That's what I've been told because it's multiple buttons or something.
But I would have thought, I guess it depends. I would have thought that it wouldn't have any sockets for the actual,
Oh, that's what I thought. But
plugs.
obviously,
Yeah.
But that's what I've been told, and there's some that they showed me this sort of diagram of what can happen with if you have a controller with more buttons and what the system can perceive.
All right. Cool.
'Cause
Well,
it's-
I guess
it's
you just
given
told
its-
the.
I don't know. Like I said, I used it I use it, pretty much non-stop since up to the Amiga, a joypad. Because once you start using the joypad on a system, you can never go back to a joystick. It just feels so awkward. And also, joysticks for these old 8-bit systems are always based on sort of flight yokes rather than sort of arcade joysticks.
I think
As
I
well.
talked about the USB competition I had last time and how uncomfortable that was to use for me.
It was. I mean, it's not just the actual shape of the joystick, it's also they're so poorly manufactured. You always got like a seam mould sort of cutting into your hands as well, or where the screws go in as well, and that sort of digs into your hand after a while. So I was never a lover of them.
Well,
Look,
you gotta play the video games. It's
Oh,
your
yes.
choice.
Well, like I said, I never liked the fact they're always based on sort of flight sticks rather than actual arcade sticks.
That just seems such an unusual choice because arcades were not unpopular. Like the step between arcade sticks and flight sticks, and it doesn't seem to make any sense.
Well, you'd think it'd be a lot easier to make an arcade stick as well, because all it is a ball on a stick as well. I mean, you
Yeah,
have to sort of specially mould a handle for flight sticks.
Is it because it's cheaper to mold the handle than put micro switches in?
A lot of controller sticks never had micro switches in them. They always sort of the membrane shapes on them, not them proper
Yeah,
names.
it's like because like the membrane ones might work better with the joystick since you have to move your hand further. I don't know.
That is true. Yes, I mean if you ever played like a sort of track and field type game on one of these systems like Daley, Thompson or Decathlete and stuff like that, it would absolutely
One more
you
shot.
could literally destroy a controller with them because it was a membrane thing, and membranes aren't supposed to be sort of rapidly ripped about all over the place, unlike a clicky one.
Well, those
I know.
games were always, like controller breakers, even on other systems, because you just break the button as fast as you can. I mean,
Yeah,
it'll never beat Mario 64's Mario Party in terms of controller breaking potential.
I think track and field on the PlayStation, I think I used to rub away the buttons because it was a better technique to rub them rather than sort of tap them.
If your game doesn't cause
Yeah.
lawsuits, you're not doing it right.
But yeah,
Yeah, I got in so many police chases as a result of Chase HQ. You wouldn't believe.
I was referring to that Mario Party thing, because Nintendo did get sued over that, if I recall.
Yes, they
Oh,
did. They
was-
had to send out free gloves to everyone in the U.S.
because
Yeah.
so many complaints of Wankers Whiplash.
Yeah, exactly. They sent out free Wankers gloves to everyone in America.
Is that
Which
all
might have
those?
been yeah, well, maybe it was a subtle jab at the lawsuit people. Like, screw you, have some Wankers mitts. Except you couldn't get those in Australia, by the way, which is complete horse crap. I had
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
oh, yeah.
problem.
Yeah, we never.
Feels
Yeah.
like you guys just have more rugged hands. You should be fine.
Yeah, yeah, we'd just deal with it, but
Going in
Americans
the
are
out-
like, my hands.
Going in the outback and handling snakes, you don't need a bloody.
Yeah, because snakes, they're quite scaly. They're rough to the touch. But not as rough as you expect. But, okay, so we've still got Chase HQ up. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
we
gonna
already
give this
kind of
one
talked
more
a bit
shot.
about Chase HQ from the previous CPC one, which I guess I'll put a link to at some point just to,
Well,
as
the
a comparison if someone wants to check it.
The CPC version is actually the ZX Spectrum version coloured in.
This feels faster. I think this is a lot faster.
Yeah, they usually were faster than the Amstrad version because there was less
Like-
going on.
From my understanding, what the Spectrum lacked in graphical capability compared to something like the C64, it made up way more in speed, from my understanding.
It did. It was really capable of doing some really impressive stuff. As long as you, the lack of colours wasn't a bother to you. It was really close on arcade ports. There's a really good port of Final Fight for it, which is quite impressive, and it looks just like a black and white version of the arcade machine, essentially.
Yeah, I think if you're aware of the way processing works, the lack of major amounts of color is a huge boon in terms of increasing the power of a system.
I think the Spectrum has a much higher resolution than the Amstrad as well. The maximum, when you was at the highest resolution on an Amstrad, you'd only put out 4 colours. But it was really only designed for like word processors, really, not for games.
I think wasn't the resolution about the same because the Amstrad had the CPC had an Amstrad. CPC had a ZX mode.
It did, yes. It's a 6800 chip. I know it's got the same chip as the quite a few systems used it. I think even the NES used the same chip. In fact, and I think the Atari maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah. So it's a wildly.
Well, how many microcomputer chips were there back then, really?
I do think it's interesting how much of early home computing was based on how far you could push the limits of something that wasn't meant to play games.
Yeah, I mean, the huge majority of computers are solely designed like word processing, and sort of people using them for office work and stuff like that. Nobody had ever thought about playing them for games. It drove Clive Sinclair absolutely nuts that this system became popular solely for games. Because he wanted to be a legitimate businessman, you know, and he brought out
giving me money and playing video games.
Exactly. Jet Set fucking Willie. Have you ever seen the documentary about his war with Acorn, Micromen? It's actually on my other gaming channel if you want to watch it. It's a really good documentary, and
I'll have to remember to actually link to that then, because that'll be pretty interesting.
I will do. Yes.
We can go back to that. We'll have to talk about Aticatac now that Aticatac is on.
Yeah, this is
a call of distress.
What are the controls?
I don't know. I have never actually ever played this game, to be honest.
I'm just gonna hit every button and see what happens.
Well, okay, so is your ammo, and boy is girl?
That changes perspective. You play as a boy or a girl, you choose what you want to be, and then you have to find the girl in the maze, and then bring her back out the maze. That's the object of the game.
Wait, so you pick your gender, but you don't pick who you rescue. Come on, guys.
Well, you pick the opposite. Not that. It was the 80s. It wasn't that forward thinking.
Like V moves you forward.
No, I just find it amusing that you that they bother to let you choose your gender, but then they have a you have to rescue a girl. So does that mean
No, if you play as a girl, you have to rescue a boy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. That's cool.
This is kind of awkward. You have to use M to rotate and B to move forward.
Watch out for the ants.
Oh, so it's a bit of a sort of Resident Evil tank controls, is it?
Sort of.
I really like the dorky little man that you get to play as, though. It's just... He reminds you of like a... Oh, what is it? Almost, not quite Lemmings, but some sort of like Lemmings-esque sort of man who's just gonna get completely wrecked. So you can scan.
Get to the ants because I don't know how to jump over these blocks.
Do you want to get to the ants? They're gonna kill you.
Try pressing the space button. Maybe that will. You don't know where the space button is.
It did something. It might have rotated the camera.
Why did you not check the controls for Aticatac? Aticatac, ZX Spectrum, controls. That's how I Google. Deal with it. All right. Someone tell me the control. Oh, sweet! Someone actually has an Aticatac homepage. That'll have the controls. Oh my goodness! It has a 3D. It has a rotating GIF. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, website. Flaming skull? I hope is it under construction?
No, it's the word 3D rotating.
Even
it's
better.
great.
Is it one of those GeoCity pages?
It's very close. You can play the game in Java in the website, I believe. But here are the controls. V is move forward. C is jump. M is turn left. Comma is turn right. Change views is OP, enter, and space. I guess that's the 4 different view directions. Throw grenades is S, D, F, and G, apparently.
What button was jump?
Jump is C.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you get to do your little dance. Return to gate is 1, and reboot spectrum is refresh, so I'm assuming that is not part of the...
Have another go.
Yeah, thanks. Very friendly for a game where you probably get brutally butchered by ants.
Ready when you are.
I will say the 3D is impressive for the year this came out.
The, it's more, what, oh crap, I've completely just blanked on what these kind of games are called, but...
Isometric?
Isometric.
Yeah.
Was this the first,
yeah,
or was it
not...
Zaxxon, or...?
It couldn't have been the first. This would have been an arcade game.
Right? What, the first one that people think of is that one that Rare released, or Ultimate played a game. And I've forgotten the name of it.
It's not Head Over Heels, it's something else.
No, it's, I think it might be...
Nightmare?
Might be Night Law. It might be Night Law. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of them. It's on Rare Replay as well, if you want to play it.
I'd love to get that, but I don't have an Xbox One. So.
Well, it's a bit pointless if you get it then, isn't it? It's just got an Xbox One.
Anyone want to send us an Xbox One? You'll find the link below.
Yes, donate today.
So I can jump, but I don't think it's enough to get over these blocks. So I'm still not.
Can you
anywhere.
throw grenades?
No, you have to do the one that you went past. Go back to the beginning where you come from.
Silly, you blew yourself up, and then you exploded into horrible jibs.
Ready when you are. That wall in front of you, that's where you jump
jump
over.
It. Go, jump. You
jump.
can do it. No, you gotta stand back. You gotta get a running start. It's realistic. You can't just hop. Your vertical leap's not that high. Come on.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Wrong direction. It's kind of hard to tell which way you're facing.
Well, how can you not? You've got the little head demonstrator thing. It changes things.
Made it.
Alright, now to get murdered by ants.
Yay.
My hero.
Oh,
Take me away from all this.
Now just jump back over the fence, and then you can...
Bitten.
You actually just walk over that fence again to finish the level.
They got me. Wait, you didn't die? Oh, okay. It's got...
Is the girl dead?
Oh, the girl got bitten, so she...
No, I think... can't you go back and pick her up again?
Yeah, probably. Can you shoot the ants? Didn't you have a gun?
Yeah, I just can't really hit them while I'm trying to run away from them.
Have you got an enormous can of Coke you can leave out for them?
He made it. Bob almost
Oh
made
no,
it.
he jumped back. He jumped back.
Why'd you do that?
Because I forgot the girl. She didn't follow me.
He'll probably follow you eventually. Just go.
And thus begun the various generations of annoying escort missions.
I was gonna say.
Paralyzed an ant. So, is this the first escort game? It's pretty close.
It could be. It's nice to see it's come from its annoying roots. Oh look, she's got.
Boy, is your health! Oh, it all makes sense now.
And she can hit.
I thought you had to collect 20 boys. Oh, that makes more sense. Eaten alive. Have another go.
One more shot.
I'd have thought you'd have got over by Rolf Harris by now, collecting all these boys.
Oh, that can't. Oh. Like, don't make me bring. What is it, Gary Glitter or whoever, Mr.
Yes, yeah.
Mr. Yeah. The basically, and they met each other, right? They were hanging out.
No, you got to pick her up. She's not walking back with you.
She gave up once she escaped.
Yeah, just keep walking down. Keep walking down with her.
We beat the game. We're done.
There you go.
Congratulations. Yeah. We beat a game. We got one level done. That was easy. Now there's someone else to save. Well, why are all these people getting kidnapped by giant ant castles?
Well, it's supposed to be a city. It's supposed to be a city, and you think it's probably the best idea to rescue each individual person.
I'm assuming this is just going forever until I just stop.
Yes.
Because I can't lose, I just start over.
Okay, so I'm getting told by this website, 3D Aticatac homepage, that this might well have been the first isometric game.
Maybe.
It says Zaxxon was 1982, but that's, you know, that's not a, you can't rotate the screen, you can't move in all directions. And this was before Marble Madness and before Night Lore, which was the correct name.
So I may well been the first one. Interesting. And now I can't see myself, and I'm getting eaten by ants off screen.
Well, you fell off the building and broke your legs, so I think, yeah.
Yeah, you're dead, man.
Nom 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 nom.
Man, this game is
Jump
really
ups.
bleak.
But it says have another go.
Yeah, there you go. It's very jolly. What Weddy Run you are.
Yeah.
It's a very jolly game.
Well, I think that's...
Yeah, I mean, your hero's got his jolly strut. He's just like, he's just chipper about it. Go, go, go. Also kind of looks like he has an erection when he jumps.
So here's something from very early Rare, which was featured in Rare Replay.
Yes.
Is that the guy from the not the basement? It's not called the basement.
Trapdoor?
Trapdoor. That looked like the guy from Trapdoor.
No, I think this come out before Trapdoor was released. And ACG is the original name for Rare, Ashby Computer, something or other. I can't remember. But they did used to produce arcade games before making Spectrum games. I think their most famous game is Blueprint, if you remember that at all.
They also did one called Koala, I think.
I don't think that was ever released, was it? Or it was released and somebody made a Spectrum game of it not too long ago.
How do I pick up things? I'm assuming I need that cross for something.
Uh,
Oh, just another button.
yes, the pickup button.
You just press the button. Do you want to let the viewers know what button you pressed in case they play this game on the ZX for some reason?
Well, keep in mind I'm using a Horace Fighter Commander.
Oh,
So,
good job.
the button I hit on that was a circle button. And
Well, I'm so that's narrowed it down.
Yeah, well done.
I'm using the square above fire.
So, I mean, the good thing about this game is it's the first game we've looked at today where you can very clearly see the ZX palettes just sort of going bananas.
Exactly, yes, and you see a bit of colour clash to that ghost on the table there.
Something just killed me, I don't know what.
There's a mouse in the doorway, I think.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Just get killed all the time. Ooh, that's, yeah, wow, those stairs. Those were good stairs.
I don't entirely know what you do in this game as a warning.
I think you have to make your way out of the dungeon, really. I think that's what it is, and you have to pick up keys and stuff like that. It's very... This was a Christmas #1 as well, this was. One year, can't remember which year, but yeah, it was Christmas #1.
No, I really hope it was something around 1984, because
It might be before that as well.
Oh, yeah. Because this does not strike me as a game that would have been very late, yeah, in the lifespan of the ZX.
I was just very, very early Spectrum game. I mean, the Spectrum was running way into sort of 92, 93. Looks like I said, there's a Spectrum port of Street Fighter 2.
How does that run?
Very, very slowly.
I'd imagine so.
I mean, the sprites are exactly the same size as the arcade version, which is a bit weird, but it moves very, very slowly. I think it's only got one background as well. You have to fight each character with the same background. I may be wrong. Like I said, I've not played it for years.
You know?
I think it's Ryu's stage.
Makes sense.
So this game doesn't also have very much sound of music, is that right?
It has sound, just not very much.
Well, most Spectrum games had that funny farting sound. Whenever you... So, they love using that farting noise in Spectrum games because it doesn't have a sound out. Well, the original Spectrum has no sound out to the television. It was always a speaker built into the machine itself.
We should talk about different models a little bit, because that'll be important.
Oh, yes. They released a Spectrum Plus, which had plastic keys. It used the same keys as the Sinclair QL. It's a square button with a round sort of finger indentation. Quite classic thing. But yeah, they brought that. And then they released Spectrum Plus 2. Then they went and were bought out by Amstrad. And Amstrad released a grey, it's either grey or a black version of the Plus 2 because they exported the manufacture to China to lower cost of the machine. And they brought out a Plus 3, which is a disk drive only version as well. So there's quite a few versions of the Spectrum.
And then there's a 128 version, which...
Yes, there was a 128, yes. Which was exactly the same... I think it looks exactly the same as the Spectrum Plus. I might be wrong, or maybe that was a 128K. I can't remember. Yeah, but there was a 128K version. Both the Plus 2 and the Plus 3 are 128K.
And the big difference with 128 is that there's a lot more memory, which means you can have more music, more graphics, and better music.
That was true, but they mostly used the 128K version to have the whole game load into one thing instead of being a multi-loader where it load each level. So that was the main thing of having a 128K version. But they often used it for like putting speech in and stuff like that.
I do like that they're so comfortable with the ZX in general that they were just like, we don't need a better looking game, better sounding game. Just load all the game into memory.
Well, if you've ever lived with loading games from tape, you'll know how much of a pain in the neck it was to load levels and stuff like that. Especially when you died and you have to load the whole game back from the start and stuff like that. It was a nightmare.
Well, it's pretty rough if you die in the middle of a game. I mean, how are you going to finish it then?
Exactly.
So it was the era of hard drives. I'm really glad.
Oh, I could never go back. I remember spending like 5-10 minutes waiting for a game to load. I mean, being British, you used to spend that 10 minutes making a cup of tea, but aside from that, but yeah. I did hear a thing once that if you put Metal Gear Solid, the PlayStation 1 version, on cassette, to load up the title screen alone would take 8 years.
How'd they find that out?
Yeah. Well, they just went by time of loading up memory, isn't it? So how many seconds it takes to load up a bit, and they just multiplied it. Yeah.
So I have a couple of items, but I don't know where they actually go, so...
Well, I mean, at some point, do you want to follow up Aticatac with the other thing, or is that, do you not have that?
Zombie?
Yes.
I do have that.
Well, this is called
I think we should...
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, we got Aticatac, and we can go to Zombie to show, because I don't want people to forget what Aticatac looked like.
I do wonder why it's called Aticatac.
Oh my goodness!
In the basement as well.
Jesus, that thing. Sorry. It's just...
It looks like the thing out of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, it looks like the end result of Snap Trap, Spring Trap. Spring Trap. It looks like the end result of Spring Trap.
Oh,
I
nice.
think someone's got a very specific denial going on there.
Yeah, nice disclaimer there, isn't it? I mean,
Hey, the Aticatac actual website is actually hosted by Sandy White. There you go. They still like it.
Let's be a girl this time.
Well, it was made by Sandy White, so sure. I think that's a good idea.
Sandy is a guy, by the way, even though he has got a girl's name.
That's okay.
Oh no, they changed the controls.
Well, that's fine. Just figure it out. I mean, you had such luck last time with it.
just keep randomly tapping buttons on your horrid joystick, and hopefully.
It seems like the entire bottom row rotates you. I just gotta figure out what button does not.
Careful, there's a zombie coming for you.
Oops.
Oh, he jumped.
So, I mean, there's a helicopter in this, so I've got to assume
He's got in
this
a helicopter already.
That was sudden.
Welcome to the world of the zombies, human.
Aren't zombies technically human?
This is a metaphysical debate. I don't.
This is some very...
Oh, I do apologise.
This is some
Well-
very,
Yes.
happy game over music.
Well, it says welcome to the world of the zombies. They're not gonna enslave people. It's just like,
Oh, they're not going to
No.
chew in anyone's brain.
no, it's a party. It's the world of the zombies now.
Okay, I can use a joystick. That should do it.
Demo. Restore city. What? Is that like a
Rich.
refresh? Does it like generate a new city for
Okay,
you?
now I can use a joystick to move.
I
That
do
helps.
believe it's randomly generated. I might be wrong. Oh, look, you get to fart at people.
Yeah, you just farting in their general direction.
Now I just have to find out what I'm doing. Should be...
Maybe you got to find
Well,
other
obvious-
things or something, like the alarm. Anti-attack.
Oh my goodness.
Is that it?
That was a thing.
That was kind of sudden.
So you got the fast-moving
Like-
28 days later zombies after you then.
Psychedelic rainbow zombie. It's,
Trying to... Okay, come on. That's just not...
They can fly. Flying zombies.
Did you see that one? Because I didn't.
I think if you see a zombie on screen, keep away from, like, make sure it can't see you.
Well, it just kind of popped out of the corner and just killed me before I could really do anything about it.
well, zombie. Yeah, I guess if you hide up top, that's kind of helpful. Maybe you
Yes,
are
it's a-
supposed to use the.
It's a well-known fact that zombies are afraid of heights.
They're like Daleks. They can't climb stairs.
Dogs just don't like to climb stairs.
Did you say dogs or Daleks?
Daleks.
Well, they don't like them, right? It wasn't until that the reboot, right, that they established that they could actually go upstairs.
No, it's in the first Scottish guy, Sylvester McCoy. They could fly
Okay.
upstairs, and that is one of his stories. Or they hover. They
All
hover.
right. I haven't seen that one. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get a lot of older Doctor Who because they'll sell you like an episode for like $50.
Well, they destroyed most of them, didn't they?
No, very
Not
first one.
not so many. Yeah, the a lot of I think it's actually the bulk of the second and third Doctor that were most destroyed. So this game doesn't have a lot of music, right?
It has no music, except when you die, you can get a game over.
They
And
have
then it's the body.
Hmm.
And
have
now there's
slowly
no
been
zombies
fine.
at all, so...
Oh, it's the Amiga Man version of the zombie apocalypse. Oh,
What
look.
is that? What is that like weird waggling thing like on the edge of your dress?
I don't
That's his-
know.
That's his skirt, I think.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
it's
see how
just
far
like-
out in the world I can walk before something happens.
How will we know if you're still walking with all the objects off screen? Watch out, you're gonna end up
Oh.
in a...
I guess it wraps around.
Oh, neat. No game crashing bugs for you.
Okay, seriously, where are the zombies?
I think you should be grateful
Do you-
because last time, every time you
Yeah.
come across them, they kill you instantly. So
Yeah, you should be happy. I mean, I assume that you got killed by the main zombies in the level. So what is your goal?
I don't know.
Alright, sweet. Well, This game was released, I guess, because Dawn of the Dead was popular, I assume.
Possibly.
When did that come out again?
84, 85, I think.
Because Dawn of the Dead in Europe was called Zombie as well.
And Ubisoft had a game
Yes.
about that, I think.
Yes.
I'm gonna move on.
Oh, I was completely off. Sorry, it was 1978. Jeez, I look like a fool now. But yeah,
Well-
this feels like it was inspired by.
But that was the first ever zombie game as well in video game history. Isn't that interesting? Or the
So
first
here's
ever.
one that's...
It was
Sorry,
very
go.
interesting.
Here's Batman Batman.
Wow,
holding his shield.
kinda harsh game.
Well, you know, Batman doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? That's the.
I don't fuck around.
Better make extra sure I'm using the Kempston. Yep, we are.
Use a Kempston joystick on Batman.
Oh, now he's even tapping his foot. He's Sonic.
he's everyone's favorite hero with attitude. Oh, this is
That's
this
a nice
is
little-
that's actually parts of the Batmobile. You need to put together the Batmobile to finish the game.
What? What happened? Why? What?
This is also the first ever Batman game, coincidentally.
Batman looks like a middle-aged fat guy.
So Adam West then.
So, you're gonna find a lot of these isometric action adventure games on the system. There are a ton.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never liked isometric platform action.
I didn't
games.
like them. Everybody else. I mean, this is like real, almost like 3D in those days. So
Yeah,
this is like-
I've seen games like this described as 3D and stuff, but I never liked them.
I mean, this is popularity was so prevalent. It even spread over the NES, didn't it? It had Equinox. Was it Equinox? 'Cause
Yeah.
Solstice was the original. Equinox was a SNES sequel.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
So where are we? Are we in the Batcave?
I think we are at the backpack. You got to
I
pick up
think
that back. You got to pick up that backpack from that koala monster, whatever it was.
So
This is
It looked like
Yep.
Lenny Cooper or something.
this is the other thing about these isometric games. All these really, really weird enemies in the game. Like I think Head Over Heels has an enemy that's Prince Charles' head stuck on a Dalek. So it's like really, really.
I can't jump.
Well, it was trying to make it the most British game imaginable, right?
Oh yeah, I think.
It's got that patriotism all over it.
Oh yeah. It's
Although
like, so Margaret Thatcher riding a bulldog or something.
Oh, well, that was fair.
That's the old. This is another old thing. I think. Can you walk? Those boots there, they make you jump at the end of the screen.
I can try to get them if I don't.
Or don't go on that middle one, John.
So yeah, they've taken a lot of creative license.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't you remember the big koala monster in Arkham Knight?
You know, I thought it was weird in the Batman NES game where he's shooting missiles at robots, but this is way weirder.
Yeah,
don't
was this
think any of the-
potentially just an arbitrarily different game that they just made Batman because they ended up getting a license?
No, I think it was made Batman from the ground up.
So they had Batman, and this is what they thought. They thought, guys,
I think you'd be better off
Isometric.
waiting on the third block rather
Yeah.
than.
Okay, so now I can jump. So I guess it's kind of.
Oh,
meant
you got-
for
you got the
NES
boots
in
anyway.
that sense.
Yes.
That's kind of neat, I guess. You have to get new abilities
Some-
to.
Oh, here's the weird sort of doggy things. I remember these.
is that kind of like the Joker's face, but they've bred it with a dog?
I just-
like a bulldog sort of deal.
Also, whatever these square things are, they kill you. And
Yeah,
it's very
keep it-
hard to tell where you are, so good luck with that.
Well, you're the one playing it. I would not play an isometric game like this. I don't like them.
I used to have a game like this, only it was Looney Tunes. It was on the Game Boy Color.
Oh, okay. I can't. You don't remember the name of that because they They did actually make an isometric game for the Game Boy, that Monster Max, which is the sequel to Head Over Heels.
It was called
You have
Trouble.
assembled zero.
It was a sponsored game.
Batcraft. It's not even the Batmobile. They just made up a new Bat thing.
Batcraft. So is a hovercraft, Batman hovercraft.
Well, he did have a boat. Maybe that's what they mean.
Batboat. New game. Okay. So you can save the game if you... with that.
Somehow.
Mm.
Was magenta the best color? That was the color they went for?
Well, I think they just went through all the colours of the spectrum just for some variety of the rooms, really. I think that's how it usually worked. And also with the Amstrad version, because they were just direct ports of the Spectrum game.
This game has music, right? Like, I can hear it. It's like a little bit of
Yeah,
music.
it has the Adam West theme when you start a new game, and there's this constant little jingle every time you move around, kind of like Dig Dug.
You could pick. There's a backpack there you need to pick up as well.
Oh, I think I missed it.
Yeah.
He's missed it. You've missed it every time. But I don't think you're gonna finish this one.
Yeah, I don't think this is actually ever going to be a speed run. It just.
So this is a game by Ocean Software, and they're kind of interesting. I think that they're held a lot more highly regarded over there than over here.
They do, because they seem to everything they produced in the US seem to be complete crap. And I don't know why, because a lot of their sort of home computer games are absolutely amazing.
Well, I think over here the general opinion is they just kind of put as much licensed stuff they possibly could.
Yeah, they're sort of like a British LGN sort of thing.
Have you
That's
heard
how-
of a movie called Radio Flyer?
I've heard of it.
Well, it's a movie that deals in themes of child abuse, and they were going to make a game of it. I mean, they canceled it, but still.
Oh wow! Did you read? Have you read the Ocean book? Have you?
I have not.
Oh, it's a really good read, by the way.
I'll have to look into that.
I find it interesting. A lot of the British companies seem to have like pretty decent books about them, but I'm not sure of many books like for American companies or Japanese companies.
Well, I think
'Cause I've
it's
noticed-
Japanese companies are probably quite hard to do a book on because of the translation issues with interviews and stuff like that.
Yes. But like other than, you know, I've seen people always recommend, oh, you got to read Master of Doom and that sort of thing, but I don't know how many other. I think I believe EA has a good book, I think. But that makes sense because they're kind of very important PC publisher.
The guy who wrote the Ocean book, Chris Wilkins, he's actually writing a book on the history of US gold. Why'd you keep walking into the koala monster?
I'm trying to move past me. So
Everyone, I'm getting furious,
for him
Bob. I'm gonna fly over there and freaking.
Wait, I'm
do
trying
it
to do
for
what I did
you.
last time and wait for him to get to the last block.
No, wait for him to be there, which you can't see there, but wait for him to be in front of you and then go to the third one rather than the second one.
I think, yeah, it would be. This game would be a lot easier if you could see shadows.
Yes,
Well, I
well,
can't
that's
jump
a
yet,
common
remember?
problem with isometric games, too. That's it. Play something other than Batman.
Yeah, let's do that.
Our blood pressure.
I never
can't
said
take-
I was good at these things.
Well, I don't think very many people are actually good at these games.
I
Here's
think
another ocean game.
we got the impression. So.
I
Don't
really
talk-
like the animation on that guy. Yeah. Whoa, that is a name entry screen. That is a hell of a name entry screen.
Please enter your name before you develop epilepsy.
This reminds me of that. I don't know, for some reason this particular thing reminded me of a not Zed. The little computer like language extension thing that Cliffy B was involved with. It had the small smiling ASCII man face.
ZZT.
Yeah, ZZT. I keep getting ZX whenever I was saying Z, but yeah, no. This reminds me of ZZT. They always had that sort of just word, like letters and flashing. That was their thing.
As you can tell,
Oh
this
my
game
god,
is
they're gonna shoot you!
This is a complete knockoff of Track and Field and the sequel, whatever it's called, Hypersports. Because the rowing was in Hypersports, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just whittling
Yeah.
deep as far as I can over here. a little bit unpleasant, to be honest. But
Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of
Considering
80s
that-
poker
yeah.
games.
Since everyone hates QuickTime events now, it's not good that these games are basically QuickTime events. The game.
They work, except they sort of build up your muscles at the same time.
Yeah, I think the big problem with these particular games was that they were terrible to play against the computer. Oh, soccer. Well, that's all right.
It's quite funny.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, it's quite funny that Daley Thompson's involved in these sort of kicking events, because all I can remember him being was a runner and also a pole vaulter in the Olympics. I think it was here. Oh, he's the goalie just died of a heart attack.
I like
Wait
that
a
you can
minute.
just miss the ball altogether. Like, whoops. I
Where are
missed
those
the
high
ball.
scores?
At the top, the gay Dan.
I didn't put that in there.
Yes, you did, you homophobe.
No, he's just gay. It's not his problem.
Gay Dan, yes.
You know, it's just which Dan
How
is
about
it? It's
it?
the gay Dan. Yeah.
Yes. Gay Dan, oh, you know, he's not straight Dan.
Yeah, it's the straight Dan's the other Dan. But you know, you couldn't fit straight into the 3-letter thing, so it was just easier to use gay Dan.
You could put the cis Dan.
That's clever, but also, yeah, they wouldn't be able to do
Well,
that.
We didn't have that word in the 80s.
Not particularly, no. Oh my
Oh,
god, that
you-
man just blinked out of existence.
Oh my god. Did you interfere with his parents meeting each other?
Maybe I hit the goalie by accident between the legs and
Kick the
then
goalie in the scrotum so that he could no longer conceive. So they fire these guns awfully close to the competitors' heads. Foul.
Oh, I think you got to press. You obviously got to press a button before you get to the edge.
I'm
A jump
trying
button.
to do. I just don't think it's.
Look at this guy not reading a manual before he has to stream a whole bunch of games.
Hey,
Make sure you land. Don't stick the landing. Ugh, I broke my feet entirely.
he completely broke them so much they just disintegrated into the ground.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, then the man disintegrated. Hyper Bill. Do not go up against Hyper Bill. That guy sounds like business.
next level is playing Johnny Be Good and watching your hand disappear.
I love the crowd in the background. It's got a horse and some sort of mule.
That well-known Olympic event, tug of war, as well. So.
It was an Olympic event. They took it out.
Was it?
How far
Yeah.
ago was that?
Oh, they took it out in the 80s, I guess. I think it was too dangerous, I believe.
Yeah, this really kind of hurts. I'm not enjoying myself.
Make sure you win at least one event, Bob. I mean, come on. Lose? You were on the right? I assumed you were on the left.
You fought the hardest guy. Fight Gus.
Yeah, Hyper Bill. Don't go against go against like Curly Cobb or
Gus.
the Woods.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness, Gus.
This is hardcore.
Gus is the hottest. Damn, Hyper Bill is the easiest.
I am a human being.
Yeah, Gus
Or
has
there's-
a jawline.
There's Joff Jiff Jaff as well in the Rogue Records.
Well, Weckwards. Yeah.
Maybe I need to get like a coin or something. Just rub the D-pad all over it.
Don't rub a coin all over your D-pad. Don't break it for the sake of this game.
And what we
Ugh.
used to do, we used to sort of wrap our finger in our shirt and then rub back and forward. That's how we used to play it.
Like, okay, it's not worth it, you know, this is... And, oh my, man, this guy's punching the ground in such
He's-
agony over a
he's so-
defeat.
He's so upset he punched himself in the face.
Why? Oh my god.
Kinda harsh.
I assume he's supposed to be rubbing tears out, but instead he's punching blood out of his face.
Is there a practice thing so you can look at the other realms?
I'll look.
Well, it's a super test. This ain't your baby test.
They made quite a few Daley Thompson games as well. I think they made Daley Thompson's Decathlete and Daley Thompson's Olympic Challenge, which was sponsored by LucasAid. They love putting
now there's
LucasAid.
no practice mode.
Ah.
I'm gonna save my wrist because I'm playing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You'll be needing it for other things tonight.
That like California Games was a big hit because it was fun.
Well, a lot of those modes in California Games wasn't button bashing at all, though, was it? It was against
No, it was all like mini, like fun. Dan Dare kind of looks a bit like kind of, I guess, like Dick Tracy mixed with Max Headroom there.
He was a very popular comic book character in the 1950s in the UK, and I think it was
like
he stuck.
Buck Rogers kind of thing.
Yeah, it's sort of it was like a Christian comic for Boy Scouts, if I recall. And look, Dave Perry works on it. Dave Perry.
Yeah, Dave Perry. Went on to was he Shiny?
He was, yes. He played Earthworm Jim, MDK, Wild Nines.
We covered that game out long ago.
We have Wild Nines. Yes.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
So I've actually beaten this game before because it's actually pretty okay.
It's also, if you notice, it does a really good job of masking the colour clash as well by having the background as black.
The one thing about this game is that it's really, really short.
Well, I believe it was a budget game.
That makes sense.
It's probably true of most ZX games that they're short. You just can't physically finish them, so... You know. Oh, that's a really cool thing. Although, even though this is very well done, like, thing, I believe the CPC version is significantly
leave him
better.
alone, Bob. Look, he's got his alien coming along. He's taking a dump, and you try and kill him. So I'm having a shitting. Come on.
There's some Bailey Geiger sort of style to this whole affair, too. Or Giger.
So, you'll notice that we have tons and tons of money, and extra lives are very cheap, so it's
and you're also
pretty
using
easy to max yourself out.
You also seem to be using a Duracell battery as well.
See, we still got tons of money after buying that much ammo. But yeah, this is really impressive, looking overall.
Yeah, Dave Perry is really good at programming Spectrum games.
We'll be looking at, like, at least one other game of his.
He done the port of Hero Turtles as well. Or Ninja Turtles.
I like the explosions.
Yeah, this is, I mean, is this one of the ZX's better general platformery shootery games?
Yes, I would imagine so. A lot of the early ones were basically Jet Set Willy ripoffs and didn't have any sort of scrolling on the screen. Because if I recall, Dave Perry used to do this really weird thing where the character's actually standing still and the screen is scrolling around him. He always stands in the middle. Look, if you look at this now, he's standing in the middle and the screen's actually scrolling around him, not the other way around.
Okay, this is a neat effect right here.
Oh, it's like 80s Pilot Wings.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Again, it's hard to notice that you've got the Actually, no, that makes a huge amount of sense. That looks like that, because that was almost a minigame in MDK and Wild 9 as well.
Well, nice to see that Dave repeats himself then.
Yeah, because that's very similar. Very, very similar.
Okay, I need to go back and buy some more lives. again, though, they're really cheap, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Life is cheap. Oh, obvious. Pods to store.
Unfortunately, I did the mini-game again, but oh well. Basically, this game is more about an endurance test and just kind of just plowing through things so you have enough money to buy more lives.
Or as in this game, it's called goes rather than lives. How many goes you got left? I've never heard a game called it goes before.
Yeah, I've heard of tries, but never goes.
Or men.
Well, yes, men. I think goes is a perfectly reasonable, like lives kind of sounds weird because it means that your character just inexplicably comes back to life. Whereas goes, you're kind of trying again, right?
I imagine it depends on your definition of death, really, in a video game. Does he really die, or does he?
It just splits into an alternate universe where he succeeds.
Sort of goes into sort of a Rick and Morty type alternate dimension where he's died and he comes.
You know, you can make a really interesting game based off that.
There's a few games that toy with that general sort of idea. But mostly it's you run across your own corpse is the general thing. When you have time travel and stuff, it tends to get a very headache to program and to design around.
I do know a lot of games have problems with rewinding as well. There was that time shift game, wasn't there, on the Xbox 360, and the whole thing about it was supposed to be about rewinding time, but they couldn't get it right, so they had to scrap the game.
Scripted, wasn't it?
Well, there's quite a few time-based games. There's what's the name of them?
Prince of Persia.
There's a difference between using
Prince of Persia did a good job.
And using it as a mechanic.
Well, Prince of Persia didn't have much going on, and all it was is you rewinding your death, which doesn't make sense.
The whole game rewound.
How can you rewind time when you're dead?
Rewind yourself.
Yeah.
Well, that's just he was telling a story, though.
Well, I thought, at least in Warrior Within, the best one, I think if you died, like, for real, you couldn't rewind. Like, if you jumped into spikes, like, if you were impaled on spikes, I don't know if you could rewind. I think you had to rewind before you were completely murdered. But I don't quote me on that.
I never played. I only really got into Sands of Time, really. I never really got into the later ones for some reason, even though I got them as Christmas presents each year as well.
Fuel.
Yeah,
LBS.
5 of those beat the game.
You have to find fuel? Well, stop wasting on your jetpack.
No, that's okay. This is an Alien Carnage. It's a good game.
Halloween Harry's a national treasure. Don't, if I have to pick between Halloween Harry and, Down Under Dan, it's a pretty easy choice to make.
Okay, I can accept that. Let's see, where do I go now?
You haven't got much of a choice of Australian video game characters, have you?
No, you've got Ty as well.
I thought he was Tasmanian.
Well, I think Tasmanians who are part of Australia would disagree with it on not being Australian. Yes, Tasmania is part of Australia.
They're bringing those to Steam now. I might actually have to look into those.
I mean, you never even sort of had any sort of stereotype fighting characters as Australians, really, could you? I mean,
there's been a couple, I thought.
There was that one guy from Way the Warrior in 3DO.
Yes, I think that was the one. Yeah. Isn't Kano retconned to be Australian or something? I seem to remember he breaks out in Australia.
Yeah, but he's not, like, stereotypically Australian.
He sort of breaks in between Australian and Cockney, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's whatever the voice actor is feeling like on that
sounds
particular sense.
Like the original movie, he sounds like Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Australian. Yeah, so... That's
go back and
I don't know.
again.
Most Australians have one laser eye and a bald.
But can you roll into balls and throw yourself at people?
Well, that's why
only.
Yahoo Serious never made any more movies. He weren't allowed into the US because all these.
Got too cocky. Couldn't get my lights back.
That was Dan. There's several of these. There's 3 at least. I think they're all pretty good. They're worth playing. I honestly think that the CPC version is probably better, but you know, it's still good on the ZX.
Mm.
So
Eric and the Floaters. Oh, gross, Eric.
So this is basically the very first Bomberman.
It is. For some reason, they renamed it this, Eric and the Floaters. I believe they renamed it because of the controversy with the IRA at the time. But then again, the IRA didn't go around blowing up balloons. They just went around blowing up Protestants instead. Unless the balloons are Protestant. I don't know, but...
The oppression. Stop bringing the mouse in here!
I had to find out which kind of joystick it wanted. It's very picky about that.
But this is an official game as well.
Kind of looks like a penguin.
Hudson Soft approved of it. And they also released another game. Have you heard of a game called Chase the Express?
I have.
Yes.
That's a game with huge success, isn't it?
Possibly. But yeah, that came out for the Spectrum as well, and that's an official Hudson Soft game.
Wait. Enemies can move past your bombs in this one? That's not right.
There's also a game on the PS1 called Chase the Express, and I don't know if that's actually like a reboot of the series.
I know about that one. That one is a Resident Evil-ish style action game, but you shoot terrorists.
Yes. I was just wondering if it's anything to do with the original arcade game.
I'm gonna assume no. I could wrong.
Oh, actually, I think it might be. I vaguely recall someone saying that it is actually a.
That's...
Oh, you went. Oh my god!
Well, that's what happens. You blow yourself up, most likely.
That is one vicious balloon.
No, he walked through the smoke of a bomb and it melted his flesh.
I like how it has to point out that you're dead too. Like, thank you.
Out. Yeah. You know, normally when your flesh melts off, you're pretty dead, but just. Yeah.
After that, you become a Nazi leader against the Captain America. You become a bomb
now
villain.
You're trapped. You're trapped. Oh
look,
god.
that is.
Oh. Yeah. Eric, you are really not in a good position here, buddy.
Have you guys ever seen 3D Bomberman, speaking of really scary stuff?
Is that on the Nintendo 64?
No, it's on some Japanese computer I forget the name of. I'll have to give you a link, it's just...
There you go, Hudson Soft.
I'll give it one more shot.
So yeah, the object of the game is to just blow up all the balloons and then find the exit.
Yeah. This is before they figured out multiplayer, so...
Oh yes.
Yeah, early Bomberman is a very strange beast.
I don't think it's till the PC Engine version that they introduced multiplayer, unless they had an arcade version beforehand. But
if there was an arcade version, it would have been co-op, yes.
You know, I never really... Single-player Bomberman is like the most pointless thing to me, but that's just me.
I think Bomberman Hero and Bomberman 64 did a pretty good job of
oh yeah,
multiplayer Bomberman.
I can accept that.
Sorry, single-player Bomberman.
Oh,
it's when they have.
Yeah, you've only got 2 Erics left.
Is he wearing like suspenders?
Yeah, he's sort of going for the sort of a 1910 sort of vaudeville sort of.
Yeah, he's got his like little top hat, his suspenders, and
either that or he's Amish. He might be Amish.
He could be.
Would Amish use bombs, though? I don't know.
Well, they got access to stuff like fertilizer, haven't they? So.
Yeah, it's not electricity, right? I mean, I'm sure if you mined it yourself.
He's gone on an adventure to rescue his plain-looking wife.
Well, okay, so what is the actual plot of it? Why are balloons that are called floaters trying to murder him? I mean, is he the prisoner? Is that the plot?
I don't know, but there's always a thing in video games that if they ever have enemies that don't really pose a threat to you in real life, and the game's not very good. And I've always noticed that.
I just want to know why they do that to him. I I'm actually very curious. Are they covered in acid? Is that it?
Did his head just fall off?
Yeah.
It falls off. Yes, when he dies. That's the.
Are they water balloons that are filled with acid?
Maybe it's like the balloon
Well,
out of the prisoner.
Yeah, it's the thing. It just melts his flesh. Oh.
Ooh, is this a new game?
Sorry, I was so. Floaters were so boring. I couldn't keep up with it.
Well, you're a fan of Bomberman in general, though?
Yeah,
I like
take it or
Bomberman.
leave it.
Head over heels.
So this is kind of a pseudo sequel to Batman.
Yes, it's a non-copyright infringing sequel to Batman.
How does that work? Why did they think this Batman game?
I don't know. Maybe they wanted to base it on the Tears for Fears song or something.
Oh man, these things.
I'll bet. By the way, I'll see if you can get that rabbit at the top. You know, sitting on top of the cinder blocks there.
So the gimmick with this game is that you actually have two characters. One is the ambulatory dog head, and the other is a cat.
Oh, they're both
head.
dogs. No, they're both dogs.
Oh, really?
One of them's sort of a Snoopy-looking dog, and the other one's a sort of a bulldog sort of looking dog. One of them can jump. One of them can sort of float in the air. The one you're playing now, and the other one can run and jump, I believe, higher. And the object of the game is to meet up with each other, so you can sort of do special powers.
I forget how you switch. I know there was a button for that.
I mean, I will say that this is significantly improved over Bomberman. Not
Okay,
Bomberman, sorry,
yes.
Batman.
Batman.
Oh, that kills you.
'Cause,
That was very clearly marked.
Well, you know, you're supposed to just die until you don't die.
This is a video games in general, though. You're completely unintuitive. You have to. Everything's trial and error. I mean, that's why they give you 10 lives each character.
Well, you collected extra lives with the
Oh,
body,
okay.
right? Blip, 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 blip. Yeah,
Have
it's
Have you heard any of the farting noises from the Spectrum yet? So we doing much of that?
There's
Playing
lots of
enough-
those because this is a 128K game. It actually has
Okay.
music.
I
Does
don't
it have
think you've.
music? I'm not hearing anything.
I don't think you've lined it up properly on sort of. You hit into the right of the door.
All you had to do was push. I like the way the grid doesn't work properly. That's always great in these kind of games.
Right.
We want to put it in the center of the screen. Yes, but that's halfway through the grid. Yes, but in the center.
Well, the Brits didn't get hold of working how grids work until Tomb Raider come along, really. So.
It's a grid-based game, yeah. Alright. I mean, we're doing much better in this one than we are in Batman. Although this one generously lets you start with jump, so it's already a much better game.
I'm not sure where the other guy is. I guess I need to meet with him somewhere.
Watch out for the fish, man.
Yeah,
I think you might have to leave the room because you pushed it into. Oh, can you die if you touch the fish?
Well, I mean, you're a cat dog, so you should be fine.
Okay, let me think about this. I guess I need to push the fish out to make a platform.
No, if you touch the fish, you'll die. That's obviously clearly how it works.
It's an angler fish, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, it's intended to look like one.
Yeah, it's got a thing on top of his head. Well, maybe it's an extra. Maybe it's points.
On top of her head, anglerfish that look like that are female.
Well, we don't have arms, so we can't pull anything, you see.
Are those arms or useless floppy ears? Also, do you have a ponytail? Who designed these characters?
John Rittman.
I'm gonna be honest and say he's maybe not the best character designer I've seen.
I believe that if you jump on top of the drum, you can pick it up. I might be wrong.
Let me try that.
Oh.
Okay, I hit a button, it just makes that weird noise.
Oh, okay. You could just go
Well,
through that
it
other
sound-
door. Been through, yeah.
Maybe the other guy can pick up the drum because he's got hands.
That might do it. I just have to figure out how to get him there.
Well, you know, he takes a while because his legs have been severed.
He seems pretty okay with it, though. I don't know.
You can jump down there. You won't die if you fall down.
Yeah, get to it. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty happy about someone who's had their legs torn off and just... I mean, he looks happier than the cat dog thing. I mean, their names are Head and Heels, right? That's their names,
Yeah.
right?
This guy, the guy with the Snoopy nose is Heads, and
And the other guy with a head is called Heels for some reason.
yeah.
I guess 'cause he's got feet.
So I jump on this thing?
The objects to this room is as an on-off switch. You move that sort of. You wait for the Dalek thing to get to a position where you can jump over and pick up the donuts at the top of the screen. I think they're
This is
donuts.
it's such a ZX game. You gotta wait for the Dalek to get near the switch spot so you
If
can
you
get
jump
the
up and down, it might
donuts.
turn back on. Ah,
Yeah.
I just
Go.
gotta-
they love doing these sort of puzzles in these games. Yeah, you have to sort of wait for it to get to the top, and then you can use them as a platform to get to the donuts.
Problem is it's hard to time because you hang it for a second in the air, which means he can still move until you hit the ground.
And he moves around randomly as well, which is even more annoying. You have to wait for him to
You
get
gotta
to
wait
that.
for him to get near the donuts, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't jump, you'll never make
No.
it.
He can glide though, so he's a little bit better.
I assume you're supposed to get it kind of near to the platform at the top, but
Yeah, that's what I was. You can either wait for him to get him there.
oh, you might make
You
it.
can jump onto him there.
I'm having issues with the grid again.
Oh.
Ah, yes, the grid. Well, you know,
That won't do it.
this game is. Actually, he's not severed at the
See,
legs. He's
try and
just
jump
wearing
now. Try. Oh no.
I don't think I
a
could
very-
make that one.
Okay, if you
Very
see if you can jump from
poorly-
there. Jump onto him.
What about here? You think I can make it that way?
Yeah, just you go to the top and then then jump to the left. You can do it. Jump
I
all the
think
way
it's
to the
far-
top from the platforms. Go to the
It's a bit
platforms.
far away from where you are now.
Why?
you-
It's infuriating.
This
It's
is
bad
really
enough.
hard to time properly, I'm just saying.
Well, no, you've got platforms at the top right, so you can climb onto those.
Wait, are those platforms? Are you sure?
Yeah. The platforms that it's stuck on right now.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I get what you mean now.
This guy.
Sorry.
This freaking like this
I'll admit that
head
was my
guy
fault.
here. He wanted to tear his jacket sleeves off, but he accidentally tore the entire jacket off.
Has anyone ever made a game like this lately? Like, even on Steam, just as an indie thing?
They've made a couple of remakes of games like Alien 8, but aside from that, I don't think so. I think everybody complained that they want to turn the screen around or something. It's a shame because these were massive. Everybody and their mother were ripping off doing isometric games in the 80s after the success of Night Law.
It's one of the genres that I think well and truly died.
Yes, along with text adventures.
Well, at least people
Yeah.
still make text adventures. They're just all very indie.
Because
they're
they're easy to
tied
make,
now.
that's why. All you're going to do is sleep a couple of journalists and have it published. So,
Oh,
I'm not touching that one.
why did you jump on it again? You could have made it.
I'm trying to wait for him to
Oh
get closer
God!
to the top. Man, I thought I had it that time, but I was on the
You
line.
did, but you missed the platform. I mean, this is why no one makes these, because not only are they a pain in the ass to make, they're a pain in the ass to play.
do you have any sort of definition of depth perception, Bob?
It's not easy in this game. I know.
I
because
bet you
it's,
if they made this on the 3DS, it would be quite easy to judge. I believe.
Yeah,
'Cause you can sort
yeah. Well, once you have shadows and proper lighting and stuff,
I don't feel I can make that jump. I don't know.
it would be a little hard. I think like the pinnacle of these sort of games was the Twinsen games. I think those are probably the best they ever
I
got.
wouldn't say that's quite the same thing. That's more Zelda-esque than anything.
Do you think that they're that different? Because I really think that if they're more an evolution of this general sort of game. Especially the Twinsen games had a lot of moving between different areas, like that were pretty hard locked routes.
I can do that.
All right.
Now,
Well,
oh, you got it. Yay.
Just gotta not die. I can do that.
Just breathe.
It obviously
Don't forget.
seems that these these donuts are obviously quite important.
Ah!
Do you want to just give up and go
Fuck
to
this
another
game.
room?
Fuck this game.
Oh.
This is. We're going a Horde and Horace and the Spider.
Yeah, just
that-
the one spider, because they didn't
Yeah.
have enough space to put another S on the end.
It's a David Bowie cover band.
Horace and the Spider.
Okay, this game just goes right into it. So now I gotta figure out which joystick I want.
What is this game? You're playing as like Melty Face Man and there's a spider. Wow,
Didn't
at
you
least
cover
they
this
delivered.
series?
I done a retrospective on this years ago.
What is it? What is this thing?
No, but that's what. Well, he was, I think on the back of the box he's described as a popular cartoon character.
That
But
would
he
be a
could-
lie.
He could have been. I think the nearest thing is he's one of those, you know, those monsters in Serious Sam that run at you with bombs, and they got like a big face in their chest.
Yeah,
That's what
well,
it is.
yeah. No, the guys that run at you with bombs are the guys with the severed heads.
You're thinking like
Oh.
the brown one-eyed things, right?
Yeah, the
There-
big thing,
there
got
is-
the
there-
face in their chest. They got.
They
a face
just run
in
at you and bite you, I believe, is their
Oh, okay.
their shtick. Hey, there's more than one spider on this screen.
Yes. Yeah, you got
No
to jump.
serum. Dangerous to go on. Okay, so the idea is that you are being bitten by the spider and you are using anti-venom or whatever to be unpoisoned.
Mm.
Or whatever. Is it anti-venom for spiders or is it just something else?
I don't know. I'd have to ask Peter Parker about that. So.
I figured you would know that, being Australian and all.
Well, see, you know, we just deal with spider bites because it just happens.
You just suck the poison out.
We just suck it up. We're real men on Australia.
Yeah, we just suck it out, man. No, you do not suck poison out of a wound. Do not do that. I've got to say that so I'm not liable when some kid does it.
Let me try that one more time.
Well, it's always like the old wives' tale of you have to you can live in the jungle, you can live in the desert if you eat a cactus. You can drink from cactus juice and this. Also, if you
Okay.
live on a desert island, you can drink from coconuts. So, you know, that'll pretty much kill you.
Do you know what I think Horace is now I think about it? I think he's like a giant pair of blue jeans. And a very
Sort of
large ass in them.
Mickey Mouse pants with the buttons in the front.
That too.
But, you know, I like the way the art in this is like, just looks like it's drawn by an idiot. just the way, like, the lines and stuff are just like they're drawn in paint and they haven't been cleaned up.
Pretty much so, yes.
I'm done.
Well, I mean, why were we showing this game? Is this just like, this is
Because-
a game?
Horace was the ZX Spectrum sort of mascot for years. He was
Was
the
he?
Mario of the
There you
Spectrum,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was built by, and it's an Australian game as well, Beam Software.
Yes, thanks, Beam. I'm glad you're all dead.
Well, you had that Ninja Kitty, or whatever it's called, they made. Was it Ninja Cat or...
Nah, that was someone else.
Oh, okay.
Blade
You sure
Kit. No, I'm pretty sure, you know, because Chrome was the ultimate evolution of Beam Software, right? So, it was a former Chrome team that made Blade Kitten. So
Wow,
yeah,
healthcare here is amazing. Only $10 for an ambulance.
Didn't you say one of your friends designed a character of Blade Kitty or something?
No, I'm friends with someone who worked for the guys that made Blade Kitten.
Well,
But
that's
I don't.
irony. We just got hit by an ambulance. They made us pay for the
Because
ambulance.
that wasn't too bad a game actually. I got it on Xbox Live to review years ago.
No, Blade Kitten was alright. I think it just came out at the exact wrong time and everyone just kind of got angry at it.
Yeah, you have to cross the road.
Was Blade Kitten that bad?
This is the worst bloody ski shop in the world!
It's on a busy highway, yeah.
I have never been to a ski slope with that much traffic right next to the slope. Wait, that's a bit unfair.
Yeah, you have to.
So this is like ski free. It's generally what we're getting here.
It is, yeah. You have to sort of.
Do you get murdered by Yeti?
No, you just have to avoid. You go through the checkpoints and then avoid
Ew, that's...
doing a Sonny Bono impression. Really.
It makes a really horrible noise when you crash. It's like he's screaming almost.
Well, so would you if you were going 40 miles an hour into a tree?
I will say this game looks more playable than the previous one that we had on.
I mean, this is the last thing that Michael Schumacher remembers. So.
Oh. Just
Another thing for you
so
to edit
edgy. I'm not editing this out. You have to deal with the consequences of your actions. I'm losing good footage.
Well, hopefully you remove that 10-minute racist tirade I said earlier.
Well, I mean, we'll see if that gets left in. Yeah, the ambulance costs $10. I mean, this is why you know you're in England and not America.
And then it just kills you because we're out of money.
Where would you
Sorry,
be?
no money, no ski. Yeah, classic, like, you know, rich white man skiing. You know, you have to have money or they don't let you on the slopes.
This is another game from Sandy White, who done that Zombie and.
Are you gonna tell me Angela Sutherland is also a man? Is that what you're gonna do?
No, I think that's definitely a girl. I think it might be his wife, maybe. But,
She didn't take his last name.
Oh man, though, I love Paul Fick. Glad to see he's in this.
Paul Fick.
Guest appearance by Paul Fick. Is that Paul Fick? Is the giant floating head Paul Fick?
Well, I wanted to show this game because it's like a very early sort of what the Spectrum can do with 3D, and it's quite impressive for what it is. I mean, for a machine that wasn't designed to be a glorious word processor, really.
You know, Sandy White should probably sue Nintendo. I reckon that we've got Andros right there.
Oh, there he is.
Eye of the mask. Oh man, that is the best walk that's ever existed.
I should get a gift of that. Make a great avatar.
You got to walk around the corner. You've gone the wrong way, by the way. See if you see the map.
Yeah, he keeps going into the wall.
Yeah. Do you know how mazes work?
Very hard to corner for some reason.
Well,
As I understand, the arrow down the bottom is showing you what direction you'll go in when you go forward past the correct point.
Well, you have to avoid.
This is like someone... Yeah. Watch out for the... I don't know... waste bin.
Yes, watch out for the giant.
What is happening? Wrong... What? Order. Oh. Are you
I'm
supposed
lost
to
too,
attack
I'll be
it?
honest.
Well, I just.
Oh yeah, we're back. This guy's amazing.
You're walking to a dead end, by the way. I think there's a.
I imagine the manual might help a little bit.
I want to point out that I couldn't even hear the sound, and I still got it exactly right. Who needs music when you can have the same note repeated over and over and over?
anyone have any idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
You're supposed to be picking up parts for a giant robot, and you go for these sort of doorways to pick them up.
Yeah,
These
you've got to
diamonds,
figure out the
but I can't shoot
doorways.
them. I think I'm out of ammo.
There's a long play on YouTube. I watched somebody playing it, and they got through the whole game in about 7 minutes.
Oh, I guess we'll link to that because I don't think
I'd love to have seen you in the movie Labyrinth. I mean, just constantly walking into the front gates. So what do you do?
David Bowie just gives you a hint. It's just like, I'm so embarrassed right now.
You've spent 12.5 hours walking into the gate. I mean, come on.
I should play the Labyrinth Adventure game we did. See what we do with that.
That was a
not an
Commodore.
easy game.
Well, there's 2 different Labyrinth games. There's one for the Famicom and there's one for the...
I never played the Famicom one.
When
Oh,
we
so
do
that-
the Commodore 64, we can do the Commodore game just,
Aw.
you know, as a follow-up.
Or the Famicom games, because it's sort of a cross between Zelda and Gauntlet.
Well, that's not even remotely like the Labyrinth, really. Sarah doesn't kill anything. Are you running backwards? I can't even tell.
I just wonder why that face keeps popping up every time I hit a wall. Does that supposed to mean
It's just
something?
telling you you can't go through this wall. You're just
It's
hitting a
big-
wall and it's like, no. No bueno. Yeah! Power out! Start again! Yeah. Great. That was a good game. It's actually really impressive. I'm very impressed by it.
I'm gonna
but-
give that one more try.
Really? Okay.
Well, now I think I might have some
Good
ammo
luck.
now, so maybe I can do something with that.
Oh, by the way,
I
if you
reckon I
want
can
any
do one area.
if you like a recommendation
Dun,
Oh.
dun, 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 dun,
What's your
dun,
recommendation?
dun, dun.
for a first-person shooter for the Spectrum,
What would that be?
that would be Total Eclipse.
Oh, I think I can get that. Yeah.
So that's another. That's like probably 3.
I
3D.
played some other version of that.
Yeah, they had
Monster?
quite a few. It's had quite a few sequels as well. I'd Castle something or other. Total Eclipse is. There's one set on the moon. There's one set in Egypt, and there's one set in a castle.
I can shoot diamonds and it takes me here, but
Well, yeah. Obviously. You know you're running out of ammo every time you shoot that.
yeah,
Yes.
it's giving me points. So I'm assuming it was doing something right.
Because you're shooting a giant.
Oh,
gas-
yeah,
Oh.
that's a great idea. Assume that you're gonna... Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now you're out of bullets, and it's the wrong order.
Is it? It's actually just a number 1. A giant number 1. That thing. And you have to. Oh, Jack the Nipper.
The Nipper?
Jack the Nipper. It's a pun on Jack the Ripper, which is an influence by another cartoon comic character called Sweeney Toddler.
I like that both of those people is like, you know what, let's take the worst murderer in our history and make a cutesy pun out of it.
The object of the
Toys.
game is to be naughty, as well.
Why is this
Oh, that's
house
why-
haunted? Does no one notice the ghost?
Well, you know, it's the prequel to, damn it. Snobbo,
Poltergeist.
get in here. Yeah, Poltergeist. That one. So, are you...
I want to know why a
being,
ghost can give you nappy rash.
Yeah,
Apparently your
is rash
parents
good
can
or rash
also-
bad?
Also,
Rash
your
is
parents,
bad, so you're losing health.
and your parents hurt you for some reason. I don't know
When
why.
is rash ever good? If you go,
Maybe
there's
you're
a
giving
door.
other people a rash. I don't
Go
know.
to the door at the top of the screen. Oh, go back.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
can't jump on these stairs, and then if you can jump over to there's a pea shooter on that shelf if you can see in front of the ball. That funny sort of T-shaped thing. That will let you shoot
Does
things.
baby have a picture of this baby in his own room?
Oh, yeah. Well, haven't you got a picture of yourself in your bedroom? I do.
I don't have a baby picture of me when I was a baby in my room. No.
A baby pic was better than a baby picture of you when you was an adult. But
Yeah, that would be a bit
that jump.
confusing. I have a picture I drew when I was 3. I've got that on my wall.
Was it a picture of you?
It's a self-portrait of me when I was 3. When I was 3, drawn by me when I was 3. Yeah.
Acceptable.
And if you'd like a photo of that, send me money.
That's going to be a Kickstarter.
I'm gonna whore out my 3-year-old self. That makes sense.
You shouldn't say things like that. That can be taken.
I think that I can consent to that.
No. Well, you don't have to get the pea shoot if you don't
Yeah,
want to.
I'm not gonna try that anymore.
I think you're not jumping late enough, but the word toys there is not in perspective, and that bothers me.
Yeah, if you go through that door, you go out the building, the house.
No, it's not
Nobody's
anything.
bothered about a child walking out the front door. And
Well, look at
Is there
him. He
another
like,
button I
you
have
know,
to hit?
I think you
freaking
push
flying
up,
kicks people in the head.
push up and press fire. I think.
My mom just killed me. I touched my mom and I lost a life.
I think, was she spanking you? Is that what the thing is?
That's your lives. How many lives you've got left? So it's really quite generous in the old lives front.
Yeah, I'm hitting up and fire. It's not doing anything.
Oh, okay. There's
Maybe
a
you
way to
find
get
the
it.
key. Is it in a different room?
Stand still and press fire. Don't just press up. Maybe that's good. I don't think there is a key to get out.
No, it's not.
I think if you go into
Maybe you have
the
to
other,
get the pea shooter?
well, if you go in the other bedroom, there's a thing on top of the wardrobe as well.
Let me try that then. Apparently there's also a sequel to this game which I have not played.
Yes, there is Jungle Capers.
They took a baby to a jungle?
Well, he fell out the plane in the story.
They threw a baby out of a plane?
Well, he fell out the plane.
How does a baby fall out of a plane? What kind of irresponsible parenting results in a baby exiting a plane in mid-flight?
See, I don't know how to get up there though. There's no platforms.
You can't jump on the headboard.
No, doesn't seem like it.
Can you jump on the, like the doorknob handle things?
No, that doesn't seem to do it either.
Go get the pea shooter. It's the only thing that we can do.
Yeah, let me try that again.
Yeah, drop kick the ghost as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the house is haunted. I think the dog is also a ghost. He's got ghost face.
Ghost face. Look at the aliens and the toys in his.
Yeah, you've got. Well, those are aliens, but they're the aliens from Sesame Street. You know, the ones that go meow,
Yeah. Yeah.
meow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's them. It's both of them. Guest starring those guys.
I just have to make the jump late enough, I think.
Yeah, I think you're just gonna jump a little later.
That's the thing about these Spectrum games as well. Everything was always pixel perfect jumping.
Made it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. All right, sweet. We got a pea shooter, probably.
No, I haven't picked it up yet.
Is it down an attack maybe, or?
Press 1. Press.
Oh, that did
Oh.
it.
Okay. Oh, so 1 and 2 is your inventory.
Oh, crap.
Well, you could just fall down
Yeah.
there. Oh.
Eat that!
I just hit 1 again. I thought I would use it.
Fuck this stuff. On the upside, your naughty meter went up slightly. So, you know, you've succeeded in being slightly naughty.
Yes. The object of the
Okay,
game is to
it's just
fill up the
gone.
naughtiness.
It's,
Well,
Yeah,
you
it's
have to
gone
find
because
a
you
way-
destroyed it.
Is there a
Learn the
button to get out?
consequences of your actions, Nipper.
The object of the game is to get out the front doors as well. So there must be something you got to press to get out the front door.
is
Yeah,
there
maybe
an
just try
interact button
pressing 1,
missing?
2, space bar, Z, X. Just press the entire keyboard in front of the door.
Okay, not Q. That just makes me ask if I want to quit.
You
Which
gotta
I
go to
do,
the
but
door.
not
You're in the
yet.
wrong room. Alright. Kid's head kind of looks like toast. You know, kind of looks like someone got misshapen toast for a head.
Post boy.
Okay, H
Yeah,
is
you know.
pause. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, I mean, when I think of... Actually, was it a double as a pause button? I don't think it was. I thought the ZX Spectrum had, like, a pause button, or, like, a button that was
Yeah.
a pause break key.
P.
I need to
Right.
see if I can find a manual for these games. I don't know if that would help or not, but
I
Wow,
think
it
it
would've
would in
helped
this
about-
circumstances, yeah.
It would have helped before we started looking them up, right?
Yeah, I'm like hitting every game that's not doing anything.
Well, let's go on to the next one.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not looking up this game. I think you've demonstrated how this game is played fairly accurately.